Well, first of all, our idea, Health Pretty, started off with us providing nutritional support, a lifestyle plan for people who needed it or people who requested it. We were looking at working people, people who did not have the time or the knowledge to do those things, the motivation. But after meeting the judges, we realized that our idea was a little too broad. Okay, and for upstart business, it would have been really difficult for us, of course, limited capital, all that stuff, to get it going. So we decided to narrow it down to retired people, people maybe overweight, just retired, suffering from diabetes, hypertension, who may need that assistance.
The idea is sound.
Yeah.
What is necessary is to actually find out, can it be taken from the stage of an idea into reality? Young, enthusiastic, they seem, by first impressions, to have very clear ideas of what they want. They have a very good way of putting it over. They're very charismatic in that sense. I think it needs fine-tuning, simply because the ideas are quite wide and really needs to be pulled together. The biggest challenge is actually converting the idea into a saleable product and finding enough people who can afford what they're offering.
Well, our project is basically about job creation for ourselves by producing, processing and marketing of agricultural produce, preferably fresh fruits. Yeah, and the final product we're looking at is bite-sized fruits packaged and marketed under the trade name Fruit and Simplicity. And also from these fruits you'll be getting peels and, well, stuff that you'll not be able to use in the packaged fruit, so we intend on processing it into jams, jellies, marmalades, and stuff. And also we're looking at concentrated juice, for example, a concentrated lime juice in a bottle or concentrated orange juice in a bottle.
I think they're a group of, passionate young people. And I guess in speaking to them, my introductions were largely trying to get a feel for why they were doing what they were doing. Because in business, you really have to have something to sustain what you're doing over the years when the difficulties come. And they all seem to have had that sort of passion for agriculture, having been exposed to it, growing up, but also recognizing that it is something that you cannot do without. You need it 3 times a day virtually. I think they need a little exposure because there's still a bit of naivety about, the products and, what people might want and, those kinds of things.
First thing we looked at is obviously the goals of the project, and we look at each question separately. One, where you have what you want to learn and what are the objectives of the research. We can break it down, again, subheadings, where we looked at how much money do we have to pay for this, the cost of production, of course, demographic, who are we targeting basically, and what kind of dolls do we want to bring out.
In the case where persons want custom dolls or dolls basically off the shelves, so whether they're theme dolls, basically the sites, or is a case whereby they want dolls based on carnival portrayals, or marketing persons, they just want specific dolls made for them for the purposes whether they want to decorate their stores or it's just to carry their logos. Right. So basically this is what we're going to object. What exactly persons want out of us.
Well, there's certainly an enthusiastic team. I must say that I have a team who believes in a product, and they really want to go to market with it. I think that for me it's an interesting combination because I have been involved in the tourism sector, and they obviously want to see how they can make some inroads into that market in terms of their product. And I think that it's unique and it's different. They're very creative, and they're probably more driven by the product side. And so the challenge for them perhaps will be to take it to market, to make sure that they really do have a product that people want to buy, for a good price that's going to make it worthwhile, a worthwhile business venture for them.
Our business name is Mothers Foundation. We're trying to create a family-friendly environment with quality information based on emotions, physical, spirituality, and so on. Also, we're trying to meet with mothers within our target market, actually. Mothers expecting mothers with children, or family with children under the age of 5, new moms, and single parents as well.
Are you aware if there's any if there are other groups of companies offering those services that you're looking at?
Well, the way that there are, but they are private, and I believe it's not there is not a high level of them. It's only about 2 of them. But then with us, the way our business will be structured, it'll be running like a business, every day walking in and out.
They have an emphasis on parenting skills, which everybody, I think, recognizes is very, very much necessary. They're endeavoring to bridge that gap between what exists currently in terms of the services that are being offered at health centers, and they want to give an opportunity to people to get more access to more information. And I think especially with we have a young population, and there may be lots of young people out there who may not have the support of the extended family, because that is fast disappearing. That there is some merit to it, and I think it can be a successful venture. The main challenges, as I see it, is to determine that group, the persons that would want to access that service. If we're looking at a situation, maybe in an economic downturn, where traditionally some of those services would be available for free, maybe at a public health center, the question is how many persons would want to pay for that service?
I noticed that you chose the name Climbers.
Why?
Why?
Well, the reason we chose it is because it was inspired by a song. I mean, the fact is, it's not just about getting there or being the big star. It's about the journey. So we call ourselves the Climbers because though we want to get there eventually, but it's the learning experience. Our market, we figure that we want to look at the primary, secondary, and tertiary level, but we want to make it very culturally sensitive to St. Lucia and maybe the Caribbean.
My team, basically, we have 2 young men. I think they are go-getters. I think they're very intelligent, and they're very passionate with what they want to do. So I think with their eagerness, etc., they can go places. We're looking at virtual learning, and obviously they would have to carry out some market research, and their population would be some of the schools. Now, for example, Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, our students are out until August, September. The other schools, as the secondary schools, examination time. Primary schools, you have also common entrance, and that's their target. So our major setback would be the time factor.
I have been generally very impressed with my team. I think they have an excellent idea. They seem to know what they're about, and importantly, I think they're very passionate about their idea, which is very good. Based on my initial discussions with the team, I think going forward for the next week or so, one of the challenges that they may encounter is narrowing down the questionnaire that they're supposed to do. They should be pre-testing tomorrow and doing the actual questionnaire in the afternoon. If the pre-test does not go as they plan, it may not leave them with much time to execute the final questionnaire.